And in this city of 22 million people, time to focus on the 22 drivers who've managed to find a clear space in which to drive around Mexico City this afternoon, with possibly extra emphasis on the 2 drivers going for the World Championship in 2016. Welcome along to the Mexican Grand Prix. It is round 19 in this Formula One season. 71 laps ahead of us this afternoon around the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. Long straights, slow corners, overtaking possibilities, and 54% of the 2.67 miles taken at full throttle. For Lewis Hamilton, it's his 10th pole of 2016. Nico Rosberg alongside him on the front row. It's an all Red Bull row 2 once again, but this time, unlike last week in Austin, Verstappen is ahead of Ricciardo. Nico Hülkenberg 5th for Force India, ahead of Kimi Raikkonen in the Ferrari, who's changed his engine but takes no penalty for it. Sebastian Vettel starts 7th ahead of Valtteri Bottas, out qualifying Felipe Massa in the Williams once again. Carlos Sainz completes the top 10, same 10 drivers that were in the top 10 in Austin. Red Bull think that those super soft tyres could be worth more than 6 metres advantage. Others say it's only going to be 6 metres. Time to stop talking. It's lights out and away we go. It's a good start by Rosberg. Hamilton gets bogged down slightly. Verstappen is right on his tail though. Hamilton is leading from Rosberg, and then comes Verstappen. Another great start from Fernando Alonso as down towards the first corner we come. Hülkenberg is alongside Verstappen. Rosberg slips in beside Hamilton. Hamilton locks up but still makes the corner. No, he doesn't. Verstappen and Rosberg almost touching, and Rosberg has to go wide as well, but they get through it unscathed. In 4th place comes Nico Hülkenberg, then Daniel Ricciardo.
So much chaos at the back. What will the stewards say about Rosberg's had some contact in there too, we're hearing. What will the stewards say about Lewis's little adventure across the grass? He didn't gain and of course didn't lose a position.
And that's why we have the virtual safety car. Pascal Wehrlein in the manor. Into the pits comes Daniel Ricciardo on the super soft tyre. Sebastian Vettel with a puncture, he thinks, but he's actually carrying on, Martin.
The mediums go on then, so they've used this virtual safety cars. We expected some might, but only Ricciardo has.
But Verstappen, they've decided at Red Bull they've got a gap and he can come in for a pit stop, and Ted, they're waiting for him this time.
They certainly are, and he's sure not to make that mistake. And that was the mechanic just getting out of the way at the last moment, and that's triggering it. And that is the medium tyre, Crofty.
It's going to be Hamilton, and it is going to be Hamilton. Dives to the right of that bollard right at the last possible moment.
Yeah, he's got enough gap there with his overcut or undercut, isn't it? So they pitted him first, and he'll be pleased to get rid of those vibrating front right tyre. And now it's stabilised for him, and it didn't seem to hold him up much, did it?
And in comes Nico Rosberg for his pit stop, and they've seen this on the Mercedes pit wall, and they thought, right, now's the time to strike. And it could just be that Ricciardo, being held up by Perez there, has saved Nico Rosberg from being overtaken by one or both of the Red Bulls. Into the pits as well comes Kimi Raikkonen in the Ferrari medium tyres, going on to his Ferrari. Sebastian Vettel leads the race from Lewis Hamilton, but we're looking way back to the final corner and then to the pit lane exit. Rosberg comes out and he's ahead of both Red Bulls.
Yeah, that was of course the message to Ricciardo, wasn't it? Get on with it, because we've got a chance of undercutting the Mercedes. But as it happens, they were several seconds adrift.
Right, is Ricciardo about to let Verstappen past? And there, Ricciardo has let Verstappen past.
Yeah, I think that's the call we were seeing on the pit wall there.
Here goes Sergio Perez on Felipe Massa, down into turn 1, does look up his brakes, does go wide. Perez rejoins the track, doesn't have to give the place back. Felipe Massa's already gone past.
The Brazilian versus the Mexican, 99.9% of the crowd wanted to force India ahead of the Williams. It didn't happen. He had a go. He knows where the limit is now.
Sebastian Vettel is now coming in for his pit stop, which means Lewis Hamilton takes over the lead of this race, and his teammate Nico Rosberg moves up into 2nd, and he's managed to get past Esteban Ocon, and so has Max Verstappen as well. Vettel is out from his pit stop, 2.6 seconds. Medium compound tyres going on, no real surprises there. And that's going to give Verstappen a real incentive to come out of turn 3 and down towards the next corner. Great acceleration from the Mercedes. Can Verstappen hang on here and be in a position to challenge as they come to the next left-hander? Verstappen goes down the inside, loses control, goes goes wide and off the track. He gave it a go, but he couldn't quite make it stick. He comes onto the track and Carlos Sainz gets held up, and Jenson Button says thank you very much, I'll take a place there as well. Button moves up into 14th. Verstappen tried to move up into second, but it didn't quite go for him. Oh, Ricciardo's come in for a pit stop. Soft tyres going on to the Red Bull. Felipe Nasser's had his pit stop. Gutierrez has come into the pits as well. So Ricciardo has pitted. He's going to come out behind Kimi Räikkönen. Oh, there goes Kimi Räikkönen on Nico Hülkenberg. Räikkönen tries to go round the outside. Hülkenberg defending for all his might, and Hülkenberg's gone into a spin. And he's stranded in the middle of the track, and he's done very well to avoid contact with either Felipe Nasser or also Carlos Sainz. But Hülkenberg losing out big time there. Was there contact? What made Hülkenberg spin? Räikkönen moves his Ferrari up into 6th place. Hülkenberg the big loser in that battle.
Yeah, he had 14 seconds of Bottas behind him. He should be okay.
And that is Sebastian Vettel, and that is a big lock-up from Max Verstappen, and he goes wide, and Sebastian Vettel, as Verstappen goes onto the grass, might be able to come and take the remaining podium place here. Verstappen rejoins the track, still ahead of the Ferrari. Should he give that place back or not? He outbrakes himself. He's now looking to defend from Sebastian Vettel. This time, no lock-up on the brakes. Verstappen in 3rd place, Vettel in 4th. And Daniel Ricciardo right on the tail of both of them.
Yeah, he has to let me go. He has to let me go.
Okay, copy, stay calm.
That's what he is.
Look at that. 3rd, 4th, 5th, going through turns 2 and 3, almost in single file.
Only one? Or are you not seeing what I'm seeing? He's
Right.
backing me off into Ricciardo.
And he's not just backing him off. Ricciardo's having a go down the inside, and somehow Sebastian Vettel and Daniel Ricciardo don't come together. Ricciardo giving it absolutely everything in his bid to get past Sebastian Vettel here. Whilst Vettel complains on the radio, Ricciardo is trying to pick up the scraps, and Verstappen still in 3rd place. What a dramatic end this is to this Mexican Grand Prix.
Well, it was obviously what he was doing. He was backing him up. That's team play.
He's got a flat spot, I think, here on his front left, Martin.
Wow.
Oh, they did touch.
That was a big old move in the braking zone. They left him just enough space. I think he was so busy complaining on the radio, although they're not exactly synchronised. Brilliant driving from both of them, not for one to end up possibly upside down, frankly.
And after his win 7 days ago in Austin, Hamilton has come to Mexico City, and he is winning the Mexico Grand Prix. The championship challenge is still on. Nico Rosberg will come home to make it a Mercedes 1-2, and the man in the lead in the championship still hanging on.
I mean, honestly, I'm going to hit someone. I think I have a puncture. Rear left.
The tires are fine, tires are fine.
He has to give me the position. End of the story.
Charlie said,
Yeah, you know what? Here's the message for Charlie. Off, honestly, off.
Okay,
Sebastian, calm down. Calm down. They are under investigation. I know that is not fair, but calm down. Put your head down, and then we talk afterward.
And Max Verstappen has got a 5-second time penalty.
So Vettel should go up on the podium then, shouldn't he?
He certainly should.
With
Vettel
Ricciardo
finished
4th.
All smiles for the 1 and 2, and smiles for 3rd place as well. Rosberg could be champion in 2 weeks' time. Hamilton still trying to get back at his teammate. What a Mexican Grand Prix that was. A fiesta in the sunshine here in Mexico City.